military surrounding Al Shifa Hospital, of course, the biggest in Gaza, claiming Hamas has a command center underground. Doctors trying to save lives amid this fight. Those premature babies among the most at risk, of course, taken off the incubators. Doctors say there is no electricity now. Our Matt Gutman inside Gaza with Israeli troops outside a children's hospital nearby, bullets overhead. And what the Israeli military shows him, is it evidence of Hamas operations inside these hospitals beneath them? And is there evidence? ABC's Matt Gutman leading us off from Israel.
We mounted up on those Jeeps and drove into Gaza. The road ground into dust, and everywhere in the city of 1 million people, those apocalyptic scenes, blown out buildings everywhere. In northern Gaza, we were embedded with the Israeli military to see the children's hospital they say was used as a Hamas command center. The road leading past what had been a luxury hotel, now charred black, much of it collapsed. In the billowing dust, scores of soldiers on foot. Then we load into these armored fighting vehicles. We're now inside this armored fighting vehicle, and we're going towards the Rantisi Specialized Children's Hospital that has been evacuated. We unload outside the hospital into active fighting. We meet Israel's chief military spokesman, Daniel Hagari, a former naval commander. You can hear the tank firing down the street. Hagari says this was the house of a Hamas commander. It was next to a school and the Rantisi Hospital. Just up the street, those tanks firing. I don't know if you can hear all that small arms fire in the background. We gotta get down now. We hear the whistles from the small arms fire around us. When you hear the whistle in addition to the crack, it means it's very close. But for the Israeli military, it's important to show us what was going on here, and that Hamas was using this as a command area for its operations. We're using the tank as cover right now. And tonight, with the world now aware of the horrors at Al Shifa Hospital, just a few hundred yards away, the Israeli military tonight saying Hamas is operating a command center beneath that hospital too. Two Biden administration officials say the U.S. has intelligence supporting Israel's claim. Doctors deny that and say the hospital is no longer functioning. And without fuel for the generators, they had to remove 39 premature babies from their incubators, lining those tiny bundles on a gurney, desperately trying to keep them warm and alive. 3 of the babies have died. Go ahead. And back here at Rantisi Hospital, Hagari leading us inside through a hole made by an artillery shell.
This was the armory, okay?
Hagari says this children's safe room was used as a Hamas command center. Those AK-47s look pretty old and rusty. I mean, was this a crack force that was here?
No. Some of the gear was operationally gear, but also some of the terrorists fled away, did not stay here. It shows us the war machine Hamas is conducting from hospitals. A hospital for children.
Further into the basement, a separate section.
We see her a chair.
Hagari revealing that chair, and we press the Israeli military. Beyond what they're seeing here, are they certain hostages were held here? Hagari, what makes you think that this was a spot where somebody was held hostage?
We're going to bring here a forensic team. The only reason I brought you here, and I'm taking a huge risk, because you see the fighting outside. Tying hostages on a chair in his facility in a basement. Fighting us for a hospital, using the children here in this hospital, a hospital for children, as a human shield. This is Hamas.
So let's bring in Matt Gutman with us live tonight, just back from his reporting inside Gaza. And Matt, as you know, the Biden administration, aware the world is watching these hospitals in the last 24 to 48 hours, the horrific civilian death toll. Of course, this new intelligence, 2 administration officials now saying the U.S. has intelligence supporting Israel's claim that Hamas has a command center under Al Shifa, a hospital where we know the babies are among the patients in the most dire need tonight.
And it's a tough balancing act for the administration, David. On the one hand, President Biden tonight saying he has not been reluctant in expressing his concern about what's going on, saying more needs to be done not only to protect the hospitals, but the patients inside. On the other hand, White House officials saying they're now very confident about that intelligence. You just mentioned that Hamas is using those hospitals as command posts. Hamas denies that.